Hi there, Stan the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, licensed in all 50 states. Today's topic might be my favorite topic ever. So, I have a team of people that put these topics together for me, and we go over them in a big meeting room, and we're drinking the sodas and things like that. And they're like, we need to talk about annuities and perpetuities and the difference between the two. And I did a Scooby-Doo. I'm like, I was like, what are you talking about? I'll tell you what we're talking about after this. So we're sitting at this table, and my CEO, very, very smart, and I'm like Southern Stan, right? I'm from the South originally. Sometimes you hear that twang coming out, right? And if anyone else wants to send me peach cobbler, go ahead and do that. That's my favorite dessert. So, of course, I'm sitting there going, what's a perpetuity? Because for me, perpetuity is my wife loves me in perpetuity. Politicians are stupid in perpetuity. I mean, it's forever. It's just never going to stop, right? My wife's in the background going, force vomit. But you know what I'm saying? That's what we're thinking as perpetuities. And so I said to my CEO, a very smart person, I said, what are you talking about? And she said, oh, by the way, a long time ago in England, there were perpetuity bonds that went forever and paid a coupon forever. There was no maturity date. There was no end date. It was a perpetuity bond. I'm like, Again, I did a Scooby-Doo. I'm like, roll. That's pretty interesting. Now, to me, having worked for Dean Witter, Payne Weber, Morgan Stanley, UBS, and the big buildings, the marble buildings, man, I looked good in the suit. I had the tie and the whole thing and the whole briefcase. I guess a perpetuity type bond in today's world would be a dividend stock, right? To me, that's a perpetuity yield that, as long as you own the stock, it's going to pay the yield, unless, I guess, the company decides not to pay that dividend. But there's a lot of legacy stocks out there, big ones that are going to pay that dividend, and they're known for dividend payments if you buy the stock. So that's, a perpetuity type investment. Now, with annuities, and there's many different types of annuities, you can't just say annuities. I love them when people say, what's the best annuity, Stan? I don't know. Tell me what you're trying to achieve. There's no best annuity. If anyone says that they have it, then they're just trying to sell you something. Or as my CEO says, they've only learned one product, and that's the product they're going to sell you regardless of what you need or if you need it. All right, so with annuities, let's take an example of like a deferred annuity, a deferred type annuity. Multi-year guarantee annuities, fixed index annuities. Multi-year guarantee annuity, for example, you could buy a 3-year maturity or a 5-year maturity. After that, it's matured, okay? And by the way, spoiler alert, all annuities have what we call an end date to the policy. A lot of times people get the policy, they bought a 5-year MYGA, and they see in that contract somewhere where the end date is, decades down the road. What that means is we can get out of it 5 years without penalty, you can get your money back. But if no one contacts you and no one ever calls you and you forget you had the policy, which will never happen at theannuityman.com, that policy is going to end. It's not an in perpetuity policy. Annuities are not in perpetuity. Now, asterisk to that, if you buy a lifetime income product, SPIA, DIA, QLAC, and Income Rider, SPIA is single premium immediate annuity, DIA is deferred income annuity, QLAC is qualified longevity annuity contract, and then income riders that can be attached to, say, indexed annuities. The income guarantee is in perpetuity. As long as you are breathing, the annuity company is on the hook to pay. So I think that the unique topic of the difference between annuities and perpetuities, first of all, we all learned something today. Correct me if I'm wrong. Nod your head that you didn't even know there was a perpetuity bond. I didn't either. I thought that was cool, and it was issued in England a long time ago. And somehow, because of the perpetuity bond, my CEO says it's no longer available. So, of course, I said, well, is it still in perpetuity? I mean, I don't know. But the point is, I had to ask my friend Moshe Milevsky, because he's so smart and he's done all this research on tontines. And I'm sure if I brought perpetuity bonds to Moshe Milevsky, he was recently on my podcast, I'd encourage you to view that. He'd be like, yeah, the perpetuity bond. He'd go down the rabbit hole because he's so smart. Every time I ask Moshe a question, he goes, do you want the 1 minute, 10 minute, or 1 hour version of the answer? I love that. I think if I said, hey, Moshe, how you feeling? How you doing today? He'd be like, do you want the 1 minute, the 10 minute, or the 1 hour version of the answer? Because, he's that smart. But I think that what you need to understand with annuities is that lifetime income is as long as you're breathing, so that's in perpetuity. right? I mean, as long as you're breathing, if you live for, people say, what if I live to 150? They're going to pay. Well, what if I live to 177? They're going to pay. Well, what if I live to 200? Well, they're going to pay. They meaning the annuity company. That's the transfer risk. You're transferring the risk to the annuity company to pay you for as long as you are breathing. And that's what I always tell people. There's no ROI, return on investment. There's no ROI till you die. It's a really neat rhyme, but it's true. And we don't know that ROI until you die. And I make this offer to everybody. I will fly to your funeral. I will sing a cappella, a song that I've made up about ROI, and I will include your ROI on that annuity. No one to this date has taken me up on that, which is sad, because my voice remains untapped and unknown to the musical public. I digress. The point is this. Annuities, you have to understand, you buy them for the contractual guarantees. You own them for what they will do, not what they might do. Deferred annuities like MIGAs and indexed annuities, they have an end date to that annuity, okay? They just do. But immediate annuities, deferred income annuities, qualified longevity annuity contracts, and if you buy and attach the income rider for lifetime income to, say, an indexed annuity, those income guarantees are in perpetuity. So the lifetime income is in perpetuity. My wife of 34 years, Christine's love for me is in perpetuity, right, Christine? Hope you're watching this. My daughters, well, forget that. And politicians in D.C. will be crooked and stupid in perpetuity. Can we all agree that all of those are in perpetuity? So that is I was just rolling on annuities and perpetuities. That should be a t-shirt. I really believe that. Maybe. I don't know. So when you go to the cocktail party next time, walk up to someone you really don't like and say, hey, do you know what a perpetuity is? Do you have a perpetuity bond? And if they go, no, you can say, I do, because I bought a SPIA from Stan the Annuity Man for lifetime income, and that's lifetime income is in perpetuity. Get me a scotch, right? Go get me a beer, player, because I just one-upped you. All right, I'm having fun. Listen, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you on the next Stan the Annuity Man YouTube video, and I'm going to shoot them in perpetuity.